As I'm watching TV, I see violence in it. Many people and little children being hit. As the gunshots are heard in the dead of night, all the people sit still, affright. Once I see something violent, it haunts me until I'm forever silent. Violence is like a volcano. It can happen anywhere, at any time, but you never know. Violence has a very known profession, which is taking lives like my aunt's in a head-on collision. Violence seems to always stare me in the face, but when I see it, it leaves without a trace. Violence is always being glamorized, but the people in it seem terrorized. One of my friends was really nice to me, but when I took his friend's seat, they all just jumped me. Little children being killed before they were born, while other people are just watching their filthy porn. Little children always being raped, and all their thoughts about it will never escape. Violence will always be around, so long as we don't stand up and beat it down. In this day and age, violence is everywhere. From the war in the Middle East to a continent that has been taken over by poverty and desperation. From the tip of South America to the strongest country in the world, where greed and corruption run rampant. Yet, violence is motivated by more than just that.
The consequences of a drugs turf war is nowhere more apparent than in Mexico. There, the rise of the drug cartels is well documented, but the armed gangs are increasingly targeting some of the most vulnerable illegal immigrants from Latin America who cross Mexico trying to reach the United States. Those who manage to make it to Mexico board a cargo train for a 1,400-mile journey across the country. It starts in the southern city of Arriaga, and it then passes through, ending up in Tijuana on the US border. But many do not complete the journey, ending up dead or missing, or caught up in the lawlessness of Mexico.
As Jonathan Miller described in the video just seen, Latin America is one of the most violent areas in the world in today's day and age. The cause of such widespread violence throughout Latin America is due to the greed and corruption that has spread in the communities and governments. Namely, Mexico, one of the most dangerous countries in the world today, with over 36,000 drug-related deaths since 2006. As the illustration shows, Mexico is predominantly overrun by drug cartels. The lawlessness in Mexico has reached an incredible level in recent years. But political unrest, greed, and corruption are not exclusive to Latin America. Countries like Libya and Egypt turn to violence to free themselves from tyrannical leaders.
In the Western world, even animals have human rights, have rights. We don't have rights. You know, that's what we need. We're demonstrating here. We're not gonna go nowhere until the last minute, until Gaddafi leaves.
So the police just left. The army joined with us here in Tobruk and Benghazi in east of Libya. All army and normal people, we are one team.
In countries like these, people united against oppression. They wanted freedom of thought, freedom of speech, and freedom of expression. Where some countries have turned to violence because of drugs, corruption, or greed, these countries turn to violence to free themselves and their people. Violence in some countries, like those in Latin America, is influenced primarily by drugs, corruption, and greed. Violence in countries like Libya and Egypt were influenced by governments oppressing the people, and in time those people fought back and liberated their countries. Now the question still remains, what can I do about violence? I can stand up for my beliefs in nonviolent resistance, protect others from violent actions, and promote peace.